I really love the idea of participatory budgeting, and it's something that we have talked about at this table for many, many years. My thinking about this, though, is that I'm not sure our residents are interested. I'm not sure what kind of participatory budgeting our residents are interested in. Is it having a voice in grant making to nonprofits that help the people of our community, or is it having a voice in the spending decisions the city makes on things like infrastructure and operations? So there's very different kinds of public participation in budgeting, and I'm not sure we've had that conversation as a board to determine that, and we haven't talked to the public to ask them what they want to help. I know that there's interest out there, but we don't know what kind of interest it is. Is it like to help us decide to buy a fire truck versus build a building, or is it to divvy up funds for grants? And also, I'm concerned about the capacity necessary for starting a public participatory budgeting program versus the capacity needed to start a human services grant program. The town program is really like, we could just cut and paste. It's exactly, they have the whole system worked out. They have an excellent policy, and we could simply borrow it from them. Setting up a public participatory budgeting process is a massive undertaking. I'm not sure, there's lots of articles in here, and I can see that that's the preference of what the outcome should be of this discussion, but it's a massive undertaking to do it right. And so I don't want to push this process down the road, this idea, and then have us realize, oh my gosh, this is so much more than we thought it was going to be. We're going to need another person. We're going to need extra hours. We don't want to spend more money doing this thing, even though it's an excellent idea. And I just also want to emphasize, we can't make, there's a comment in the memo about people would rather give money of their own volition and not through their taxes. And I understand that. And there are people who make donations on their own. We can't assume that the volume of contributions to the organizations that might apply for these grants would be commensurate with the amount, donations from individual residents may not equal the $112,000 that we can generate through this process. So I just don't want to take the approach of we shouldn't do it because everybody else is doing it, so we don't have to have that responsibility. And lastly, just to echo what Regina said, the funds are needed now. Essex Junction has not participated in this program since we separated from the town. And we voted for it back in 1987. We have been really proud of it over the years. And I think I don't even think our residents are quite aware that they are not participating in it anymore. And so I really think that our residents should know that we've done it before and we're not doing it now. And I think they would agree that the urgent need is there. We have a Rotary grant somewhere that came through to us that was over $11,000. We may start seeing lots of individual requests for money that we would have to take up on an individual basis in our agendas, whereas we could establish a program pretty quickly with very little interruption to take care of them en masse. So as you can tell, I feel very strongly about this program. I feel like it is our obligation to at least put something into place, because Essex Junction does not have a social safety net. If you are experiencing hardship of whatever kind, whether it's homelessness or domestic violence or food insecurity, with very few exceptions, you have to go to Burlington to get the services. And then we have our neighbor Burlington really in dire straits because everybody who needs services is going to them. So in a way, this is also doing our part to help with the human services need across the greater county. So I would really encourage us to pursue putting this on the ballot now as an advisory question to let the voters decide whether they want their tax dollars to be used in this way to support human services organizations. So thanks for listening.